Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Guys, don't forget to like the video if you haven't already. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and our weekly collab is here. Please welcome back to the channel, Grace Reports in the building, Lailah Lynn in the building. I go with my sound effects. Ladies, it's another week. Guys, again, if you didn't know, we have this weekly collab. We are going on each other's channels every single Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern, talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. If you missed any of our past collabs, last week we were on Lailah's channel, right, Lailah? Or was it Grace? I can't remember.
Yeah, Lailah's channel.
We're about to hit Thanksgiving and then Christmas. I'm like, wait, what day is it?
So ready.
Be sure to check out our past collabs, both on Grace Report and Lailah's channels from the past couple of weeks. We're already on episode 6 of the Real Housewives of Potomac, and you know how we always like to start. We'd like to just rate the episode. I will start with Grace. Between 1 and 10, how would you rate this episode?
I will give it a 6. And I think that's exclusively for Candace and the way that she dragged Ashley at the beginning of the episode. You know, like if it weren't for that, I would give it a bit lower because, again, it was another episode that left me feeling like kind of like lower energy, like just watching too much negativity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Lailah?
I would give it an 8 for the same reason, for the way Candace dragged Ashley and for the way she dragged Gizelle. Like telling her, you are the reason that women don't report the things that happen to them. I appreciated that. I appreciated that honesty. And so I give it an 8 just for those 2 moments.
Wow. I didn't expect the 8. I really did not expect the 8.
Yeah.
Based off of me watching this episode, I felt very uncomfortable during certain moments, a little cringy during certain moments. And I don't like that if I'm watching a show for entertainment. So my rating would definitely probably be a 6 as well, because I'm like, this is not fun shade. This is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable. But let's talk about the uncomfortable stuff that started. We were still burning. No, oh, damn. No, not burning.
Not like the
Not
hot
that
box.
kind of burning. Burning the papers, okay?
Right, I thought it was over the hot box.
So we're still burning at this winery, and it turns from a Wendy and Robin fight to a Candace and Ashley fight, because Ashley decides to bring up that her friend Deborah, who we met from her mommy play group or whatever, apparently Chris Bassett was flirting with her at this spring awakening. A lot of things were springing at the spring awakening event. Okay, so it goes from Ashley.
A lot of lies.
Yeah. It seems like Ashley was really enjoying this moment of bringing this tea to Candace, but that's when Candace decides to drop her own tea about Michael Darby and some high-end escort that he likes to frequent that's a man. Okay, all right, I'll start with you, Lailah, because you like this smoke that Candace gave to Ashley. What was your reaction to that moment?
I felt it was necessary. I felt like, if Ashley, who is a snake, if she's putting everything out on the table, I felt like Candace was in her right to expose, what she's heard about Michael, which I personally believe could be true. So yeah, I love that moment. I felt like it was a necessary moment. Like, how they say when you go low, I go to hell. I felt like that's what Candace was doing. And I felt like that's what a snake like Ashley deserves.
Yeah. Grace?
Yeah. She's 1,000% right. Like at that point, all right. Because like you said earlier, Kempire, Ashley was, she was deriving a lot of pleasure from bringing out those rumors and stuff like that. And I feel like Ashley knows that those rumors are fake and they're trying to destroy Chris's reputation. And I just hate how she like compares it to what went down with her husband. Like what was going down with her husband were borderline criminal things. Like he was touching people allegedly without their permission.
It went through the criminal system. I mean, he was
exactly
cleared. I don't know if that's even the right term, but it's been settled out of court.
Yeah, exactly. Like he had that. And then someone else could have, like Katie's boyfriend at the time, Andrew, he was caught on camera doing that as well. Like the list kind of went on with him doing things to people without their permission. So to kind of like try to equate that, I could see why Candace really took it there with her, and she deserved it. And she didn't deny it. Did you notice? Ashley did not deny it at the table. Everyone else's faces, yeah, kind of confirmed it for me.
Here's the thing. I agree with both of you. I mean, I was just uncomfortable with the whole when Candace said, well, Chris is not sucking the D. And I said, there's nothing wrong with sucking it. Okay. All right. Sorry. I feel like they was making it like it was a bad thing, but I was just like, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. All right. It's too early. It's Monday. All right.
I'm with you, Kempire. You know, I'm with you, and I feel you. It's nothing wrong with it. I think the issue is when it's behind someone's back.
And you're married.
I think that's the issue. Like if you're married and your partner does not know that that's what you like to do. I think that's the real issue.
No, though. Based off her reaction.
Yeah, she knew. Who knows what she's gotten into?
Well, you know, at BravoCon, this man came to. I wasn't in that panel, but it was at a separate panel where a man came to the mic and said that I think his name was Troy, and you notice TROY, and when they were blurping out the name, it was 4 letters. So I'm thinking maybe this was the man that she was referring to, and apparently Candace has had this information for years because Robin later says, "Oh, Candace told me this years ago." So she's been sitting on that for a very long time. And I can appreciate that because I'm that type of person. I'm that type of petty because you can tell me stuff and I will sit on it. I can have information for years, but bring me to that space. It's coming out. It's coming out.
I can't believe she held it in that long. You know what's even more surprising to me? The fact that Robin, who's supposed to be friends with Ashley, would keep that from her. It's like, wouldn't you want your friend to know if you think that their husband's having an affair, especially if they're paying to do stuff? Like, I don't know. I found that very odd.
But it's nothing like Michael. Like it's a different type of relationship. Like she probably thinks, you know, Ashley already knows this. Like they think the worst about Michael. Let's be honest. They think the worst about Michael. And I think, you know, because of the type of relationship they're in, that it's just like, you know, whatever. I'm sure Ashley knows whatever.
I feel it. Look, Ashley, I understand why people don't like Ashley. I've never really had a strong opinion about Ashley. If Ashley didn't come back, I probably wouldn't care, to be honest. I do feel like she has brought a lot to the show. However, I don't think about Ashley often. You know what I mean? Like she's not important to me to this show. But I get why people do like her and they feel like she's necessary for her. Okay, because she's messy. But seeing the side of Ashley in this particular moment, smiling and laughing when I think we all know that Candace genuinely wants to have a friendship with Ashley, and for her to just admit to Dr. Wendy Acefo that, she wanted to bring this up in front of Gizelle because of what Mia said and what Gizelle was saying. And I'm just like, oh, so you are really just showing that, like Lailah refers to you as, a snake.
Yeah.
And I hope you're paying attention to this because, like I said, at BravoCon, they seem to be in a good place. And I don't need them to be fighting, but Candace, pay attention.
1,000%. But Ashley's always been like this. Don't you remember she was right up there with the Green-Eyed Bandits delivering fake pizza to Karen's house to try to out whether or not she lived there when Karen was grieving her parents who were dying at the time. Like those 3 women truly are evil. They take pleasure in genuinely hurting people. And I just can't stand a single one of those 3.
And I'm jumping around. If you know, we jump around because we're having a conversation. We're not, this is not question answer. We're having a conversation about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, be sure to check out Lailah Lynn's channel. Be sure to check out Grace Report's channel and subscribe because we are doing this on a weekly basis at 1 p.m. Eastern every single Monday. All right. So we had that moment that this back and forth gets ugly, but then it ends. Everyone's leaving. However, Candace and Gizelle decide to have their own conversation about the Chris situation. Grace, how did you feel about this conversation? Because at first I'm like, okay, they're about to have a conversation. It seems like Candace is coming from a genuine place. Like she wants to, put this to bed, and it goes
Mhm.
off very quickly. Grace, what was
Yeah.
your reaction to this conversation and what was said?
You know what? I feel like the way Gizelle acts around Candace proves to me that she knows that she's lying and what she's doing is wrong. Like, she acted so skittish when Candace was approaching her and she's asking Candace about the view. And I really like the way Candace spoke to her, you know, just trying to clarify, were you made uncomfortable? What made you uncomfortable? And I believe Gizelle kind of changed her story a little bit about like who invited who, where, or this or that.
Yeah.
She did a good job, but I didn't like how she cried at the end. I'm like, Candace, hold it
I
together. Don't let
know,
her
I
see you cry.
know.
Damn it.
And then we get
That's
the
how
tissue.
Wendy, when she gets so
Mhm.
upset, she starts crying. Yeah.
Yeah, the two Candies are like that.
Yeah.
Poor thing. Layla, what was your reaction to this conversation?
You know what? I felt the same thing about Gizelle too. Gizelle is breaking. Like I felt like she was skittish too. Like when she was asking her
Mhm.
about the view and everything, and Candace was like deadpan, like it's lovely. Like we're not here to talk about the view. Like let's talk about
Mhm.
what you said about my husband. And I felt like Gizelle in that moment, what Candace was doing, like kind of like questioning her, it was revealing that there is nothing that happened. There's
Mhm.
nothing. Like Giselle is standing on nothing. Like Chris didn't do anything to make her feel uncomfortable. When she was uncomfortable and she asked Chris to leave, he left. So there
Yeah.
is nothing that she's standing on. And I felt like Candace was pointing that out. And then she was also pointing it out that you wanted to hurt him. Like you waited until you had a platform to share this because you wanted to hurt him.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I'm glad she pointed that out. I'm glad she pointed that out because that's really evil.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like this is because it's such a sensitive topic, and I can see how Candace is really trying to pay attention. Like, I believe women. I don't want this to be a situation where we don't start believing women because of what Gizelle is doing here. And I think the general audience, even people that are fans of Gizelle, are feeling like, girl, what are you doing here? Like,
Mhm.
based on what you're saying, nothing happened. He left when you asked him to leave. He opened the door when you asked. So now we're getting into semantics of, did you ask him to come to the room? Did he um ask to go to your room? Did he purposely do that? I don't know if Chris would do something like that, knowing that his wife is right in the same vicinity.
Yeah.
I I don't know. And now that we have Ashley bringing up this whole
You know
other
what I'm waiting for?
situation, go ahead, Layla. Say it again.
No, I'm just waiting for the footages. I'm waiting for the footages. If
Ah.
they have footage, I want to see footage. If they have footage of Giselle and to him, okay, you know how they do the behind the scenes at the
Yeah.
reunion? I pray to God they have footage of Giselle saying to him, oh, okay, you want to talk? Come to my room. We can talk there. That's what I'm waiting
Mhm.
for. I would love to see that footage.
Do you think
I
that
would
they
love
wouldn't
to.
have played it already though? I feel like they would have played it already.
They might be waiting for like
Oh,
That would
well,
be interesting. Yeah.
okay. Let me just say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Guys, if you're just joining us, don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. Thank you, Who Said Kate, for the super chat. Who Said Kate says that Ashley had a perpetual smirk on her face the entire show. Yeah, that made me so uncomfortable. It's like because I think we all feel like Candace is trying to be a friend. She wants to be friends with Ashley. I don't know why, because I think all
Mhm.
of us sense this from Ashley, that she's inauthentic. Joe, thank you so much for the super chat. Joe says, but the real question is, who is this escort that's supposed to look like Juan Dixon? According to my thorough research, none look like him. Not
Thorough on the ground
thorough
research.
research, Joe. Wow, not the thorough research. Thank you guys for the super chats. I mean,
No.
I have some deep DMV sources, so stay tuned.
Ooh. The tea is piping hot. Well, you know what I wanted to ask you guys? While Candace and Gizelle had that conversation on, like, you know what I didn't like was how Wendy was just sitting over there having a casual conversation with Ashley, who just tried to destroy her friend's marriage and humiliate her in front of everybody. I just didn't understand why she was not upset on behalf of Candace, why she did not go after Candace when Candace went outside. Again, I don't think they have a genuine friendship. I don't understand why. I feel like they have a common interest.
And I've been saying that for a while now. However, when they get to Miami and she's checking to make sure that Candace has a room, I was like,
Mhm.
well, that's that. I like that. I like seeing that. So, but I'm
Mhm.
still kind of looking like I'm not sure what this friendship is or the level that it is. Or is it because they're doing a reality show so they know that they have to do certain things so they can't, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
she's like, no, I have to be in the scene. I'm leaving with Ashley. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's what that is. And Wendy's still trying to navigate how to be herself and also to do reality TV. So
Mhm.
it could be a little bit of that. Maybe.
I
Maybe.
wonder. I want a venting scene of like Candace venting to Wendy because Wendy went through the same thing and they can both commiserate and point out how this is all Gizelle does, and Robin too as her sidekick. They just go after marriages or whatever. And that would have been an interesting thing. I hope we get something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't see the friendship either
Yeah.
Mhm.
The
between Candace and
Wendy and
Wendy. I don't quite see it.
No.
yeah, I don't know. And look,
I
it might
also
just
feel
be
like I have a
casual.
delay.
Wait, say
Yeah.
it again, Layla?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Pardon me, because I feel like I have a delay. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi, but I feel like I have like a slight delay.
Do you want to drop out and come back? That might help. I know that happens with
Okay.
StreamYard.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. All right. Layla will be right back, y'all. Look, StreamYard technology, it is what it is. Okay, back to this.
Yeah.
So that conversation, so I'll say this, and I'll ask you this, Grace, how you felt about this. When Candace says that Giselle's the reason why so many women aren't believed when we talk about SA,
Mhm.
did you agree with her there? Because we got this face from Gizelle
Oh, she was
when she said
shocked.
that.
Yeah. I agree with this sentiment, which is that women like Gizelle, who make mountains out of molehills or whatever, who kind of exaggerate things for attention or whatever, or who exploit the dynamics that men face in these kinds of things and how women are automatically believed over them and for good reason. Yeah, like women like Gizelle, not, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got where Candace was coming from, and I do think that it is valid. What Giselle's doing is cruel, it's evil, it's unnecessary,
Irresponsible.
and yeah, it's horrible what she's doing.
I mean, I agree with her. I think Gizelle in her mind, really in this moment, was truly shocked because she doesn't see the detriment of what she's saying here. I think she really believes, oh, I'm just saying that I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
No, what you're saying really can lead to people losing opportunities, losing jobs for entertainment. I don't think that's cool. And I wouldn't
No.
blame, and I tweeted this earlier, I wouldn't blame, let me bring Layla back up. I wouldn't blame Chris Bassett if he never wanted to be among these women ever again. Because if we thought we had a friendship and this is what you would do on television, when you could have easily took me to the side and said, you know what, I was uncomfortable with your husband, during this particular situation. No, but you waited to have this out on television.
Well, how does this stack up to Portia when she threw Candy under the bus? Candy was a good friend to Portia. She gave her opportunities when Cordell kicked her out of the house and stuff like that. She was always there for Portia. Then Portia turned around, put out these accusations about her, and she played dumb and said, oh, well, it was Phaedra who set me up to do this. How do you guys think that this compares to that?
That's a good question. Layla?
Oh gosh. So I'm trying to. How does Portia's situation compare to who
Yeah, like
throwing?
Gizelle and Portia. Like, I don't think Portia believed that Candy was going to do anything. I don't think she believed that Candy was going to drug her and drag her to a dungeon. Just like I don't believe that Gizelle thinks that Chris was going to do anything to her inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't know if I can compare the two. I really feel like what Portia did to Candy, I just feel like it was on another level. Like you guys know, it was like I don't want to say the words because I don't want to get you flagged, Kempire, but it was an assault. Like if she had carried out what Portia said she was going to do, then that's an assault. Like it's a very serious crime. And I feel like what Gizelle is saying, I feel like Gizelle is being very clear to say nothing happened. It's just, to me, it's two different things. It's two different things.
I mean, but here's the thing. I can see the comparison that you're trying to make here, Grace. I think both situations, can be very detrimental to both people involved. It could be detrimental to Candy, it can be detrimental to Chris. And I've never really been a huge fan of Chris Bassett, but I am Team Chris this season because I really don't believe, and it becomes a murky situation. I think people are treading lightly because they don't want to come across like they don't believe women when they say things like this. Do I believe that Gizelle might have been uncomfortable? Yeah, because she always talking about this man's penis, and now she's in a room by herself with him. She might be uncomfortable for other reasons. But I honestly don't believe in this particular situation that is what we have here, that you felt uncomfortable to the point where you had to bring this to television for fodder.
Or call him a sneaky link. Like at first, she was trying to present it like he was trying to do something to her. She's like, oh, like he's a sneaky link. Many married men have tried me. Like it was really trying to paint the picture that he set her up to go into this room to do something. I don't know if she was trying to, you know, make it seem like it was consensual or not, but like just the fact that there was even ambiguity surrounding that is unfair, in my opinion.
I felt like she was using the word sneaky link wrong. It was kind of like an older person trying to use slang, but they're not using it right. Because my understanding, a sneaky link, like you agreed to it. You know what I mean? Like y'all vote down for it. So I felt like she was using that term wrong, but I got what she was trying to
imply. I thought too. I really did. I was like, maybe she's using that. You know, like how Karen used hotbox wrong? Allegedly, because she said that she used it incorrectly. But I think she was alluding to other things, but we won't go there. we won't go there. Karen says that's not what it is. We're going to go with what Karen says, okay?
Okay.
we get this next scene. We get this next scene with, oh, goodness. First of all, this attorney was everything. I don't know about you. I might need to hire her. I don't know for what. I'm not going through a divorce. But I just was so impressed by her. And this fool on the right, I really feel like she's just playing dumb. Is she playing dumb or is she really this? Okay, so let me set up the scene and then we can react to it. Okay. So Ashley finally decides she's not just going to completely trust Michael. She's going to speak with an attorney. So she talks with this attorney about her prenup, and she talks to the attorney about possibly buying this home with Michael. And the attorney's like, I don't think you should do that. Again, when Ashley was on Watch What Happens Live, she says that she didn't realize there were certain stipulations in her prenup. So it doesn't automatically mean that she gets half of everything that he made during the marriage. So she
dumb. If she really thought she was getting half of everything Michael has, like she is less than smart. I don't want to call her dumb. I'll say she is less than smart. She's not as smart as she's tried to portray herself.
What did you think of her reaction, though, to the whole house buying situation? We find out later that the LLC was never formed. So she asked the attorney about this whole buying a house. I think anybody, even if you didn't Google schmoogle it, you know in your head, buying a house with a man you're about to divorce might not be the smartest thing to do.
Well, exactly. It's communal property. So why would you do that at that stage? And going back to you, Kempire, saying she was unserious, the way she walks in, first of all, her dress was so inappropriate with her bra sticking out, the cleavage. You can see like too far up when she sat down as well. She's so cheery and just like it just looked very like fake. Like
picture of it, but
you know,
the same thing. I was like, this is very inappropriate to meet with an attorney.
Yeah, she was trolling us with that scene. I feel like she knows that attorney, maybe like, I don't know, like they're friendly or they've done something together, but she was not seriously over there looking for real actionable advice.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Grace. I feel like Ashley is trolling us this whole season. I don't think Ashley is getting a divorce. At this point, I don't even know if Ashley is legally married. I feel like Ashley is just lying. Like she's lying to her team. Like this whole thing for Ashley, this whole Real Housewives thing could have been like a big troll. Like I don't see any truth coming from Ashley. And I think the other ladies like Gizelle and Robin are starting to see it. Like there is no LLC. In my opinion, there is no divorce. I don't even know if there really is a marriage. Like it's all just a big lie.
Yeah.
And I did not expect you to say, I don't know if the marriage is real. I believe the marriage is real. I also think that they are going to get a divorce because Michael wants to live his free life, you know, where he could sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with, as he should. I think they just are on better terms than, you know, most people would be when getting a divorce. And that's why she's playing this up. So she has a storyline. She's made this storyline. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. I believe that Ashley Darby, in my opinion, is the one that leaked these to the blogs, because when that source came to me with the information, word on the street from other sources, she was already talking about it. So I don't believe her in that whole situation.
Nicki Minaj told her she needed a storyline. So what did she do? She got her a storyline.
Yeah.
Damn. Let me say thank you. We got a couple of super chats. Randa, thank you so much for the super chat. Randa says, look at the beautiful melanin on my screen. How dare they be, how dare they be colorist? We're going to talk about that too in a second. Thank you so much for the super chat. Shan, thank you so much for the super chat. Shan says, Candace really thought she was her friend. Gizelle has only one friend, and that's Robinisha. I mean, yeah, look, yeah. Julie, thank you so much for the super chat. Julie says, didn't get a chance to watch, but always support your channel. I was too busy recovering from my amazing Vikings beating the Bills. Here y'all go with the sports in the most insane and best game of the year. Hashtag Sports Talk Monday. I don't even know what you just said, Julie, but thank you for the super chat. Delcia, thank you so much for the super chat. Delcia says, Hotel Roomgate is a hot mess. It's giving me Kathy Hilton and Lisa Rinna vibe. Wow. So not real. Didn't happen. Tracy, thank you so much for the super chat. Tracy says, episode 1, Gizelle said Chris didn't do anything to make her feel uncomfortable. She was just uncomfortable being in a room alone with him, and he might be a sneaky link. What I got at first is Chris might be cheating. What did they cut out? And that's the thing. We're basing our opinions on footage that has been edited. So it's kind of hard to navigate these conversations in a serious way, because these are serious allegations that Giselle's bringing up, that she felt uncomfortable with this situation. I think she thought she could bring this up and then they would sort of like breeze past it. But this is someone's real life husband.
Yeah. She bit off more than she can chew, let's say. And I wonder if after that sit down with Candace, she realized I went down the wrong road, you know? And I wonder if that's something she can own up to. If she can apologize and say, you know what, I should have come to her off camera. I didn't realize the repercussions that this could have. And I feel like that would help her with her image, because right now it's not looking good for her.
I still believe that this is a story that was concocted to take the attention from Ashley's divorce. That's what I heard earlier in the season, that it was that Gizelle and Ashley came together and concocted the story about Chris so that the entire season wouldn't be about Ashley's divorce.
Yet I feel like Giselle's the one who keeps bringing it up, like her divorce. But it makes sense too, because you literally see Ashley admit to Wendy in the first scene that I specifically wanted to bring this up in front of Gizelle, because she kept on saying that Gizelle is bringing up these false claims. And that made me look at Ashley like, wow, so you really are a snake. You really were doing this intentionally.
I tried to tell you, Kempire. I'm
try to tell me. You did try to
You're praying for her. This is why you can't let just anybody, quote unquote, pray for you. Remember, she's like, I put your name in my baby. Right? So you want to destroy my marriage and leave me pregnant and alone? Like, she's so odd.
Damn, you're right. Damn. No.
Crazy.
Exactly. This is exactly why you should not trust her. And I don't need you praying for me, Ashley. Right. Darby. God. All right. Guys, if you're just joining us, we have over 2,000 people here watching our weekly recap with Real Housewives of Potomac. This is our weekly collab with Lailah Lynn and Grace Report. Be sure to follow their channels as well. We'll be back on their channels every single Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We switch. It's a rotating panel, so be sure to check that out. And check out the past episodes, recaps that we've done on both of their channels. Okay. And guys, if you haven't already, mods, can you let me know how many likes we have so far? We have 2,000 people in the building. Can we get to 1,000 likes, y'all? Liking the video is an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but channels like Grace Reports, Lailah Lynn's, but also smaller channels that are trying to get your attention. They will start to show up in your algorithm. So like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It is a subscribers only live chat. So, all right. Moving on from there, because I look, Ashley is going to do what Ashley wants to do. I don't believe this scene. I thought this attorney was amazing. Her advice was amazing. Yeah. She even told Ashley in that moment that even if you buy this house on your own, and it's just in your name, he could still have a claim to it. So you need this in writing that he will not seek a claim to it. I thought that was important. If anything, for the general audience that might be, going through a divorce, that was helpful for them. So thank you, Ashley.
I'll never thank Ashley for anything. And by the way, you guys watching, I am getting over a cold. It may have been RSV, but my kids, they're back in school this year. They've been out of school for 2 years, and they're back in school now. And they're bringing home all kind of viruses. Luckily, it's not COVID, it's not the flu, but it may be RSV. And I'm recovering from that. So my voice might sound a little bit different. Might sound a little manly, but I'm working through it. I'm working through it.
All right, and we hope you feel better because and even with the weather change too, that I'm sure a lot of people are going through something right now. So shout out to you, and for pulling it together and being here and looking amazing, both of you. Okay,
listen, we're all in the same color,
right? So we got the memo. This was not planned, y'all. Jacqueline, Charisse, and Mia go to a spot to hang out. This was, I mean, I can understand Jacqueline and Mia hanging out, but seeing Charisse now hanging out with them, it was kind of odd. Like, what was your reaction, Grace, to these ladies hanging out? How did you feel about it?
It was weird. I felt like, what is Charisse doing here? Like, I know that Robin's trying to make her a thing, but Mia too now, like, they just don't seem like they would mesh at all. I think that Mia's too vain to be friends with this Charisse, to be honest with you. I think, you know, especially you saw it in the way that she did.
The best, this is why, like, I have problems with Mia. Mia's not my favorite person, but I always say that she makes a great housewife. And it's moments like this that just make me lose my mind. I love that her eyelashes are sliding down her face half the time and she don't care. And then these shady producers give us this moment. Why?
Oh my God.
Thank you.
This is why it was an 8 for me. This was a good episode. I love stuff like that. Like the pettiness. That's what I want from the housewives. I love that.
And that's why I think that Mia's a great housewife. But here's the heartbreaking thing in this particular scene, that every time I see them together, I'm like, damn. And now they're not friends anymore. Mia and Jacqueline, like, they've been together. Her mom was Jacqueline's mom was Mia's foster mom at one point. And they've known each other since they were in high school. For their friendship to go through what they've gone through, I'm like, oh my God, why? Look, why?
Yeah, it's very sad. I want to know what happened, but it's very sad. Like, this made it worse, hearing that they are literally kind of like sisters. Like, they grew up like sisters. They don't just call each other sisters. Like, they literally grew up in the same household. That made it worse.
Do we get to see it play out on this season, or is it something that happened off camera?
I think we might see it play out, because at the very end, it seemed as if that's when we found out that there was rumors that Jacqueline and Mia were having some sort of issues. I'm not sure. We'll see. It all really depends on how they decide to edit it. But I do think that we get to see why. If not, we'll definitely know why by the reunion.
Can we take predictions?
I'm holding. Say it again.
Can we take predictions on whose fault we think it is? Like, who caused
really?
Yeah. I want to know what you guys think. Who caused this fallout?
I'm going to go with Mia, because Mia was first on the show, and it's going to be some type of jealousy if she starts feeling like Jacqueline starts getting too much shine, or makes friends with someone on the show that she doesn't want her to be friends with. I'm going to go with Mia.
That's Grace. This is a very great question, because you're right. Because as I was thinking about your question, I said my first inclination would be Mia, because she's a liar, admitted liar.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at Jacqueline and I'm like, based off what Mia said on Watch What Happens Live last night, saying that, that Jacqueline is a writer, meaning that, she will ride for her friends, but she can also be very sensitive. And I'm wondering if something was said during the season that got her really sensitive, and that's what made the fallout. But then remember, we have to remember, this is Mia, who then just a few weeks ago posted and tagged Bravo, accusing her of DV.
Yeah.
With her ex-husband. I just don't know how you go back from that. Yeah, you were my sister, but now you put this, you're trying to make me lose a paycheck, and you put this out on social media. Look, I'm gonna say Mia though. I'm gonna stick with Mia. Mia's the one. What do you think, Grace?
I can't answer it. I think it's very disrespectful to answer that sort of question. These are like sisters, you guys. She and you.
You made us answer.
I don't know, you guys. I am torn. I kind of feel like it might, because Mia brought her on the show. So I'm like, could she have been, you know what I mean? Like maybe Jacqueline did something disrespectful. I'm leaving with Jacqueline just to go for the wild card. I'm going to go with Jacqueline.
She says, I'm going to go. You going to make us tell all of that. You changed your mind. Okay, let's say thank you guys. And guys, we really do appreciate the super chats. The super chats help content creators like us not depend on YouTube on a YouTube check because of, limiting of ads or, all the things. So thank you guys for doing that to allow us to continue to be entrepreneurs and Black entrepreneurs at that. All right. TB, thank you so much for the super chat. TB says, RHOP needs to get it together. We are here to laugh, not to deal with the intricacies of colorism and false accusations. It's giving desperate and sad. This is why I had to rate the episode so low, because just the optics of what we see once they get to Miami too, I'm just like, wait a minute. What's happening here? Yeah. But we'll get there. And then, look, I know we need to move on. Let me just read these super chats. Mr. Melanin Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Melanin says, the green-eyed bums and Ashley are miserable. Ashley is just forehead and misery, always trying to hurt relationships because they don't have one. Hashtag fire Robert Dixon. Oh, Lord. Okay. Nikki, thank you so much for the super chat. Nikki says, I feel bad for Wendy. She went to Miami with these women trying to have a good time, but in reality, none of these women really like her like that. Yeah, it's giving that vibe. Kim, thank you so much for the super chat. Kim says, I think Gizelle and Ashley's storylines are set up by God to come to us with the BS. Shout out to On Bertha, hashtag RHOP, hashtag RHOP. Thank you, Kim. We needed that light moment in between. Thank you. Hi Vibe, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi Vibe says Gizelle seems to be encouraged to make these false claims, but it's gone way too far. This is hinting at SA. Gizelle should be reprimanded like Ramona. But here's the difficult part about this. Bravo's not going to reprimand her if she felt uncomfortable. That's where the gray area is here, because she's going to be like, you can't tell me how I'm supposed to feel. I felt uncomfortable. So they can't, they're sort of, their hands are tied. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for the super chat. Belna says, Mia, liar, miserable, need to worry about herself. Oh my God, Mia. I can't. Hold on. I missed the super chat. Oh, here it is. Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Danielle says, what if Jackie had something to do with G's family pulling the businesses?
Ooh.
And that's what made Mia put the tweet out there.
We connecting the dots now.
Not us connecting those dots. Wow.
Yes, this is Danielle from the DMV.
Wow. Okay. Yes, she is. Danielle is from DMV. I'm like, are you telling us something, or are you really just making just asking?
Let us know.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Okay. So we had that moment with Jacqueline, Charisse, and Mia at the spa. Charisse thinks that she's going to get her choice of rooms in Miami. I didn't know about this scene. I was just like, I didn't expect Charisse and Mia. I'm like, did they know each other before this? Very possible, but I never saw that happening. Okay. We get this other scene with Wendy, and we find out that Wendy and Lailah's favorite, Eddie Acefo, they're at home, and her storyline is, look, they're both married people. I'm just, look, people can have crushes.
Yeah. No.
Roland.
It's not a crush. It's not a crush.
Okay. All right.
I just think he's a nice looking guy.
I know he really is. And in person, I saw him up close and personal.
Okay. Testify, Kempire.
Both of them are gorgeous. Okay. So, of course, Wendy's storyline this season is that she's doing too much. But in this scene, we find out that Wendy has decided not to move forward with the Nigerian library club, cafe, whatever. I don't know what it was going to be. And that was interesting, because then later, that final scene that we see is that Peter Thomas, who I was defending at one point, says that he has beef with Wendy. But I'm also surprised that why is Mia FaceTiming with Peter? But under his name, it says Mia's friend. Didn't it say Wendy's friend before?
Yeah, I love how they do that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I can see
If you don't pay
Mia and
attention,
Peter
it's like,
being
oh.
friends.
Say it again, Lailah.
I can see Mia and Peter being friends because Peter is so social. And now that, Mia's a housewife, I can see them being friends. And I can also see why Peter is mad. If Wendy pulled out of the deal, I can see why Peter might be mad.
But at what point is this deal? You know what I mean? I mean, we still have to hear his side of things because I'm wondering. It seemed like it was just in conversation. Had there been money been put out? Were you guys looking at property? You know what I mean? So I need to know that. But Wendy's storyline this season is she's doing a lot. So she's taking things off her plate and just dealing with the things that are in front of her. So that's all I got from the scene. What did you guys get from this scene?
I don't even remember the scene, to be honest with you.
Oh my God. Well, let me see what I remember. I thought this was good with Eddie and Wendy. I thought this was good for their marriage, to be honest with you. Wendy pulling out because Eddie said that it would be a strain on Wendy doing this investment. And we talked before about how, Peter told her the investment was $300K, but it could be $400, $500, $600K. We never know. And so I felt like Wendy pulling out was a good thing for her and for her marriage because it seemed like her husband was not on board.
Yeah.
You know what, you guys? I felt like I don't think they have a spare $300,000 to throw into a restaurant. I think it's a price thing. Like, he's a lawyer, she's a professor. Well, she's a commentator these days. Like, it just doesn't, I don't want to pocket watch or whatever, but it's just not adding up. I don't see the coins being there, especially with her carrying around like Birkins and this and that, like very expensive bags. Like, if they're putting their money into that, and the kids' college and stuff, I just don't see them having the $300,000 for the restaurant. And like Lailah said, like, it starts at that, then they start asking you for more money and more money because all of these like unforeseen circumstances pop up. It just wasn't a smart idea. And I don't think she realized it would have cost that much just to be like not even a controlling partner at all.
And my thing is, it's not even just the price. Yes, there's the price tag of doing a restaurant, but also the involvement. Like, even though she's 20% owned, you're still involved. If you're doing all these other things, a restaurant's not an easy task. Yeah. It's not like you're just putting your name on it. You're literally putting, if you're doing 20%, that's still a hefty amount to be involved in a restaurant.
And a library.
And a library. Do you think Peter is going to scrap the whole idea, or do you think he's just going to find another investor and still go forward with it? Because I feel like it was a good idea.
Yeah, I
like the idea.
I guess he could move forward with the idea. I mean, we still need to hear Peter's side, and we will be. He probably will get a confessional.
Give him his flute.
I was really trying with Peter, and then I see him on FaceTime about first of all, why are you telling Mia that you have beef with Wendy? As a professional, your beef should be directed at Wendy herself. All right, so we'll move on from that. We're gonna eventually get to Miami, y'all. If you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. Mods, let me know where we are with the likes. Liking the video is an important aspect of what we do here, guys, because it helps not just our channels, but other channels like yours, because I know you're watching, get their eyes on it. Just saying. In the board, just watching and not liking the video, like the video. I won't know that you liked it. It's okay. Just saying. Let me say thank you. Hold on. Okay. DV, thank you so much for the super chat. DV says Wendy has been verbally aggressive to these women since day one. Is it really colorism, or has Wendy been such a pain that they just don't like her? Here's the thing. At first, I could see where people saw that there was colorism, but I was like, let me see and have this play out. Especially when Wendy has called it out to you ladies, you think that you would be a little bit more conscious of the way that you interact with people. I don't feel like they are they just that ignorant? I don't know. I just feel like, no, it is giving me colorism now, especially when they get to Miami. But before we get to that, So Gizelle, Ashley, and Robin go shopping, and that's where Robin reveals that she had heard about those rumors about Michael Darby years ago from Candace, because Candace knows this high-end escort. They also talk about Ashley's divorce situation, and that's when we find out the LLC had not been formed, and Ashley's like, oh, Michael, when I brought it up, Michael was very offended. He's like, why would I form the LLC without telling you? And da 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 da. So we had that, but then Chris's tweets come up, because I don't know if you guys recall this during the season's filming. The rumor already was out there that Gizelle was coming after Candace and her marriage and things like that. So Chris started tweeting. How did you guys feel about this particular scene and Chris's tweets from that time? I'll start with you, Grace.
Oh my God. Can you remind me what his tweets were? Guys, this episode was I rated it a 6. It was not the best episode, so I don't remember a lot of this stuff. Honestly, Chris does deserve to defend himself. And I would love for them to call out the pattern in general of how every season Gizelle's storyline is coming after somebody's husband. I think he mentioned that. He mentioned that in his tweet, right?
Yeah.
That it's her MO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fair. It's true. Why is this girl always after people's husbands? It's a show about these women. So why are we going all the way over here every time?
Lailah, thoughts?
Well, when they were shopping, I always like to pay attention to what people were buying and things like that. So when they were shopping, this is the one thing I liked about Gizelle, when she was like, she's going to be like a 25-year-old and, live her life. I did like that, but I didn't like
believe it though. I didn't believe that.
She tried. I didn't like what she was trying on. And the stuff Robin was trying on was cute, but then Robin was saying she didn't like it. So, I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I'm just not it's hard for me to watch this. So it's almost like I'm turned off. Like if I wasn't doing this review with you guys, I don't know if I would stay tuned into it, because to me, it's such trash at this point. I do think Candace was right when she was saying, you're the reason that a lot of women who have these real experiences don't come forward, because people are going to think they're lying. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just feel like it's a certain amount of trash, with Gizelle and Robin. Anytime you see them together in a scene, it's a certain amount of trash. But I do believe what Robin was telling Ashley about the high-end escort. I do believe it. But you know what? It's kind of like, okay, well, I don't want to get too graphic. I'll back up.
Wait.
I'll back up.
No.
But I would just think, for men, I would think they pay an escort to do something to them. But it seems like Michael is paying an escort for him to do something to the escort. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole sub thing. And I'll just leave it at that. But that's why I believe it. I believe it's a lot of
Let me try. Well, you rewind back to the reunion where Robin confirms that she heard Michael say, as he was passing by her, I would suck Juan's da 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 da.
Yeah, I think he's submissive.
Do we believe that back then? And what do you believe right now, Grace?
I believe all rumors against Michael Darby, 100% without question. Mia could tell me something about him and I would believe it.
Basically what Robin said.
Yeah, it's Michael Darby.
Look. Okay, we'll move on. Let's get to Miami.
But wait a second.
Wait.
You guys, can I ask what happened with the house? Because Ashley swore that she made a bid or an offer on a house through an LLC. Come to find out there was no LLC. Does that mean that she never actually made an offer on the house? What does that mean?
We're just catching her in more and more lies. Unless Michael told her, oh, we'll make the bid. Like, oh, she likes this house. Okay, so I'll make the bid. And she's thinking that it was made through the LLC. It could be that, or she could be lying again.
So the babysitter that she was looking at the houses with, she tells the babysitter she wants this house, and the babysitter does or does not, does she even know if they're putting the bids in? Is she aware?
I think she's aware because she is the babysitter, so she understands what's going on. So I think she's aware. Ashley is the one that's just not aware. Like Michael, if they really are getting divorced, if this is real, I think Michael is pulling the wool over Ashley's eyes and she just doesn't see it.
Mm.
She's not that smart.
I think she wants to make it seem like she is, and I think a lot of people in the audience were like, no, she knows exactly what she's doing. I think Ashley knows to a point what she's doing, but she's not smarter than Michael Darby.
She's not.
He's steering that ship right now.
Yeah. And that's what the lawyer was trying to tell her. Like, you're putting so much faith in this man, but the lawyer was trying to tell her, someone who holds all of the cards, of course, they're going to be like, we don't need an attorney. I'm going to propose this to you. Let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in reality, you do need an attorney. You do need to examine everything. And you're not as smart as you think you are. Remember Nene said you never win when you play dirty? Yeah. And I feel like Ashley, marrying Michael and having those kids with Michael, I feel like it was all like a big trick to get his money. And you never win. When you play tricks on people, when you play dirty, you never win. Damn. It actually sounds dumb telling people we're getting divorced because I don't want to have threesomes anymore. Like,
and she's telling that to the attorney. I'm like, you didn't tell the attorney that. You just say our life has changed. The attorney didn't do all that.
Yeah. He's less than smart.
Oh, did he freeze? That's the perfect freeze frame as well.
That's a good weekend fire.
Am I back?
Yes. You're back.
I don't know. Something's going on with StreamYard because I see that there's a low connection, and that I haven't streamed through StreamYard in a while. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm here with Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. Be sure to subscribe to their channels as well. We're gonna wrap this up because we're just getting to Miami, but before we get to Miami, we get to see Charisse and Karen see each other at the airport, and they have that little awkward. I have to say, Karen though did go up to her and said hello, and then just kind of that awkward kind of.
Like, y'all know I don't like this girl.
Yeah.
But did you guys notice in the car, Robin really is trying to make this a thing that Karen is avoiding Charisse, and I really don't think that Karen is avoiding Charisse. Karen now has her own.
Listen, the internet is not on our side today.
Yeah, StreamYard can be a bit heavy, but yeah.
I think what he was going to say is that Karen has her own YouTube channel. And so she's been addressing everything. You've seen it, Grace?
I have her stuff like bookmarked in my watch later, but I have not yet watched her videos, though I am dying. Have you watched any of her videos yet?
Yes. I've watched all of them, but she hasn't spilled the tea on what Charisse wants to say. She was like, y'all stay tuned and you'll see why I treat Charisse the way I treat Charisse. So whatever it is, we're going to see.
Charisse is so thirsty. It hurts. Like, I was about to say, like, when he was talking about them at the airport, I was like, Charisse looked so thirsty being at the airport with those girls. She's not even part of the cast and whatnot. I was like, what is she doing here? Like,
the only thing is, she's not a part of the cast, but then when she's in the cast house filming, she wants to get a hotel so she can have her own bathroom.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, are you having a type of a medical problem, girl? Like, don't you need to integrate yourself in with the cast?
Like, come on now. There's no cameras in your own hotel room. You're not going to get your own camera crew. You're not, part of the cast. Hey, Kempire.
Hey, I don't know what's going on. This, I got the good internet. What's going on? No. It is technology. There's nothing you can do, especially when you're dealing with these streaming platforms. Anyways, guys, we're Miami. All right, let me just say thank you before we lose connection again. I don't know what's going on. All right. It's probably because we have almost 2,500 people watching. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to follow us. Light Mission, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Angelique, thank you so much for the super chat. Angelique says, what's on TikTok watch party? Also liking the panel recap. Good idea to bring on ladies. # office crew. Thank you so much, Angelique. We've been doing this since last season, though, Angelique. Where you been? I'm just playing. Thank you, Angelique. All right. And if I missed the super chat, guys, I apologize. As you saw, we had a little technical difficulty. It is what it is. Here we are. So we're flying to Miami. Already, Mia has told some of the group that 9 people, 6 bedrooms. Sidebar: we are in. Let me just bring up the photo because I do a little prep. Like I do a little prep. What in the hell? Why are we? I mean, it's a fabulous house. However, we are not on South Beach. Why are we not on South Beach?
Well, that's the thing. She's like, it's a fabulous house, so they won't even care about the beach. We've got our own pool situation. I think that that's what she was hoping would get them away from. We're wondering why they're not at the beach.
Yeah.
You know, I used to live down there. I used to live in South Florida, and where they're at is Biscayne Bay, which is it's fine. It's beautiful on its own. Biscayne Bay is beautiful. They don't have to be on South Beach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like because I've vacationed on South Beach. It's okay, but I get it. They want to make a thing of it, and of course they make a thing of it. In Housewives, it is a big deal of room select certain cities. Certain cities don't care. Like Beverly Hills, you never really see them fighting over rooms like that. But certain cities, you see them kind of like fight. Like New York, they were infamous for like Ramona always had to have the best room, and they would always fight and run for rooms and things like that. So I don't care about that. It just got a little cringy and very mean girl. And someone pointed out when we were doing a TikTok watch party last night, if they were friends, like this sort of banter and room play would be okay. But you know that these people genuinely hate each other. And it's kind of awkward seeing when Ashley went to go take Candace's room selection and hide it. I was like, what is she doing? Like, what's
so immature?
Okay, I'll start with you, Grace. Thoughts on the whole room selection process? The food looked good though.
Oh, the food looked amazing. Poor Karen being allergic to chicken. What a sad thing.
I would have ate it anyway.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking the whole time? I was like, this is Robin's fault because I think Charisse is there because Robin is so desperate to get a moment between her and Karen. She went to Mia to bring her in. I feel like if Charisse was not there, they would have had enough rooms for everyone to have their own room. Mia would have been sharing with Jacqueline and everybody else would have been fine. So I was really irritated by that. And then her taking the Candace's room card and stuff like that. I'm like, it's just so mean. It's not funny. It's just, I don't like it. I didn't like it. And I kind of wondered why Wendy didn't just snatch the card and hold it with her the whole time or something, like she knew something would happen. And I wish she got to the card before anybody else.
Yeah. Lailah?
I thought it was really immature. Like what Ashley did. I understand Ashley was trying to be funny, trying to make a moment or whatever, but I felt it was really immature. And I'm still not sure, what did Candace's original card say? Like what room was she supposed to be in?
I think that, because I thought the same thing, Lailah, but I think it really was supposed to be with Wendy. And I did get a picture of the room. Hold on, so they're supposed to share this room, y'all. They're supposed to share, her and Wendy are supposed to share this room, the one bed room. So I believe that Mia did put both of them in that room.
So then what was Ashley switching? If it already said Wendy, what was she switching?
I don't think she was switching anything. I think she was trying to see what the room selection was. Because I originally thought the same thing. I thought, oh, maybe she's trying to switch something. But no, I think Mia did put, because remember, you saw that Wendy kept on asking her about the room selection and Mia kept on avoiding the question. So I feel like she already knew that that's the room that she was putting them both in. But why would you put these two grown women in a room with one bed?
Yeah. I thought
oh, go ahead, Grace.
No, you go ahead because I'm slow here. I really thought she switched the card the whole time. I thought
I had to rewatch it. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I thought she switched it. But Robin and Gizelle have shared a bed before. But Wendy and Candace are not Robin and Gizelle. Like it's not that type of relationship. And I don't know, as an adult, I can't see myself sharing that small a bed, with my friend like that.
And that's why I could relate to, well, okay, I don't know if I can relate this much to Charisse, but I get it. You're a grown adult. You need certain amenities when you are away. She thought she was going to be able to select her own room. She gets there. She's like, I need my own bathroom. So she's looking for hotels. Do you guys still use a travel agent? When she said travel agent, I said, what?
I've never used
travel agents.
No, I use Google Flights.
Only because my cousin is a travel agent. So because she's my cousin, of course I use my cousin. But other than that, no.
I used to use a travel agent years ago when Liberty Travel was a thing.
Oh, I remember Liberty Travel.
I think they're out of business now. I'm sorry, travel agents, but I didn't know. So Charisse is trying to get up out of there. So I think they're going to avoid it being a major issue. I'm sure this will be an issue later on at the reunion when they see how this was all playing out. I just felt it was so mean girl. And like a lot of people were saying, if Ashley and Candiace were in a good place, I would have thought, oh, this is humorous. But they are in a bad place right now. And you're going to do what? You're taking the card. I didn't like the optics of it. I didn't like how it was going down. You can say what you want about Wendy, but come on. Can we just have a good time, ladies? This is not a good time. This is not fun.
I agree. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest note to end on because we ended there and I was like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. And then next week because at the very last scene that we get, we see that Mia calls, FaceTimes Peter Thomas, and that's where Peter reveals he has beef with Wendy. And she's like, what? And then we see this preview. Guys, the preview is probably what's sticking out in my mind. Is part of the reason why I probably rated this particular episode a 6. But it gets worse because the fight between Mia, we already saw this during the trailer, but shout out to our friends at OMFG Reality TV. They slowed down the footage and you can, and I'm trigger warning, because I'm even watching it just looks disgusting. So you already see Mia throw water at
Wendy.
Wendy revealed, you know, when Mia posted the video clip accusing Jacqueline of DV, she pointed out like, oh, and you hit me with your purse. And then we actually see it in this preview for the next episode. And they slowed it down. And to me, it's disgusting to see because you're hitting someone from behind and you're hitting someone as a grown woman with a purse. And the way that Wendy sort of like goes like that, I'm just like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It was disgusting to watch. I don't know if you ladies saw the preview for that.
Yeah, I saw the preview and I felt the exact same way. I'm like, what could have happened that would cause Mia to feel like she needed to do this? I don't think anything's going to justify it.
I feel like Mia's a follower. Like, I feel like she joined the show and she saw who was like targets on the show, who do most of the girls not like, which is Wendy. And so I feel like now she doesn't like Wendy. She's a follower.
But you know what? Here's the thing. I do see the base of her dislike for Wendy because Wendy was coming at her unprovoked her first season. So I feel like she laid the foundation for Mia to not like her already. Yeah. But at the same time, this season, what happened at like the first episode, I think it was, Gizelle comes up to her and says, is this what cancer, no cancer looks like? You're faking cancer for attention. Like, she really goes in on her. Robin starts practically asking her for her medical files. So it is a little crazy that she's going so ham on Wendy over last year's stuff versus Gizelle and Robin very recently, like going in on her, calling her a liar, an attention seeker, a cancer faker.
Yeah. It all comes down to social value. Like in that crew, you know, you can look and see who is considered the most valuable in that crew. And when it comes to social value, it's like Wendy is at the bottom of the totem pole in that little crew. And so Mia being a follower, that's who she targets. And it's sad to see.
It seems like both Ashley and Mia are trying to be a part of that clique, Robin and Gizelle. But in real life, nobody would want to be friends with Robin and Gizelle.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, if you really look at who they are, but I get it, maybe for the show, they feel like, yeah, we gotta, be friends with them. I'm like, no. And here's the thing. Wendy doesn't bring a lot to this show. So it would be very easy for just let Wendy be Wendy. But I feel like they are targeting her. And it's just like, no, this is making everyone like Wendy more, if anything.
Yeah. The underdog. Yeah. People root for the underdog.
Yeah.
Let me say thank you. Danielle, thank you so much for the super chat. Danielle says Mia is supposed to be Karen's friend, but she's now hanging out with Charisse. Why?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Because she wants a screen time. I don't know. Nikki, or it was a producer that told her like invite Charisse. Who knows? It could be all of that. Nikki, thank you for the super chat. It looks like a full-size bed, though. You know what? Come on. Come on. Let me just pull up the picture. Hold on.
It's real low to the ground. I didn't like how low it was.
I sleep in a king size, y'all. Full size would feel like a twin to me.
Yeah. My daughter sleeps in a full size. That's a kid
right?
set.
Oh my God, you guys should see the beds here in Paris. The beds are small.
I have. Okay.
Yeah.
I know Europe is very different. So look, when I'm traveling, I'm like, it is what it is. That's why I look forward to when I come home so I can go like this on my bed. I'm just saying, okay. You know what? I can't stand y'all. No, I'm joking. Thank you, Nikki, for the super chat. Looks like a full size. Kia, thank you for the super chat. Kia says, I also don't like how Robin was once again making age digs at Karen, shaking my head. And thank you for reminding me of the tweet that I needed to pull up. So Karen addresses because Karen gets a good room. They end up giving Karen because it's also her birthday. Let's not forget it's her birthday. Shout out to the Tauruses. It's also her birthday. And Karen is addressing what Robin had to say in regards to her always getting a nice room and them always having to share. You guys want to be up each other's, you know what? Share rooms. So Karen says this, look here, you hard 40-ish person, come on. And you know who you are. You should know by now that your age shaming and bullying tactics, when applied to me, only serve to lift me up. Hashtag LaDoms, rise and keep on winning. I mean, she really is winning though.
She is. We love her so much.
She's on Watch What Happens Live this week, but she also has a show. I think tomorrow. She doesn't need Karen, run me my check. No, she's doing the damn thing, and now she's monetizing on YouTube. Come on, Karen. Kia, thank you so much for the super chat. Samara, thank you so much for the super chat. Samara says Gizelle said goodbye. Good idea, Ashley. So I'm pretty sure she was switching cards. If she just wanted to see what room, she wouldn't do all that. But switching cards with who? What card would she be switching?
She was putting Wendy's card into Candace's envelope.
But then where was Candace supposed to be sleeping then?
That's the question. That's the question.
I guess that will be another question that they'll ask during the reunion. All right. We're going to round this up. Ladies, final thoughts on the episode or anything that we forgot to mention that's sticking out to you. How are we feeling? Because like I said, I have to say, watching this episode and seeing the preview for next week, the show is becoming draining versus fun. And I don't want it to become like a Beverly Hills, because this last season of Beverly Hills was draining and not fun to recap. Because Bravo, I will stop recapping it. Because this is supposed to be fun. I didn't quit my corporate job to be drained. Come on now.
That's exactly what it is. I agree with you guys. I kind of feel like for me, doing the panel with you guys brings the energy back up after it being drained from watching the show. But I feel like we shouldn't even have to feel that way. Like, it should be fun. There should be a good mix of shade and funness and stuff like that. But I'm just getting a lot of negativity this episode. And again, I'm waiting for this storyline about Chris to be over. There's nothing to discuss there. And I don't want to see it continue to carry on. I kind of feel like it's going to be over though. I think so. I hope so.
Lailah?
Like I said, I'm hoping for the footages. If they have the footages, they can just end it right there. If they have footage of Gizelle telling Chris, come to my room, then that ends everything. So I'm looking forward to that. I feel like Candace brings good energy to the show. I feel like a couple of ladies do, like Candace. I feel like Karen does. I feel like Mia is funny. To me, the two most draining are, the three, Gizelle, Ashley, and Robin. Especially Ashley now with all her lies. It's like, it's not even cute, girl. All the lies you're telling is not cute, and we're over it.
Yeah.
Over it. Casilda, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you supporting the channel. Baker asked the question, Kempire, are you watching Housewives of Durban? Bravo on Friday released the first 3 episodes from their first season on Bravo and on Peacock. They're not paying me, but they should. I don't know if you ladies have gotten into the Real Housewives of Durban. I watched the episodes. I'll talk more about it, guys, tomorrow during our Tuesday takeover. Have you guys seen it?
Not yet.
No. Is it good?
Might want to watch it. It's interesting. It's interesting. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. Here are my final thoughts. Like I said, I want the show to be a little bit more fun. I want it to be a little bit more, and I do feel like we got a little bit of that in this episode. But I know we're waiting to see how this whole thing plays out between Mia and Wendy. But part of me feels like Mia is just being dramatic for television so she can have a moment. But I'll wait and see. I guess. All right. Let me just say thank you, everyone. Shout out to our Team Kempire Royal Court members. And of course, we could not do this without our moderators. Thank you, moderators. Guys, don't forget to thank the moderators. And don't forget to follow Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. Ladies, what do you guys have coming up this week that people should be on the lookout for?
Oh my goodness. I am wrapping up Love is Blind. That has been so fun, breaking it down character by character, episode by episode. I'm almost done, couple by couple. I'm almost done with that. Then it's just regular pop culture news as it happens afterwards.
Lailah?
I'm doing celebrity news and hot topics. I feel like my voice is coming back to where I can actually record because I haven't been recording for the past couple of days. So I will be back on it with the housewives and everything that's going on in pop culture and a couple throwbacks.
Okay. Well, let me just make sure. Someone says I skipped there. I didn't we had some technical difficulties, guys. So I may have missed. Oh, here it goes, Kimmy. I found it, Kimmy. Yay. Thank you for the super chat, Kimmy. Kimmy says Mia knew Wendy couldn't retaliate, commentator. Good point. Oof. All right. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Thank you all for watching. Replay crew, as always, we want to know where you're watching from, how you'd rate the episode, your thoughts on all the things that we said, and all the things in regards to the episode. Thank you all for being here. Let's get out of here. Guys, don't forget to like the video. Mods, did we get to 1,000 likes? I didn't check. I hope so. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, girls. Bye.
Thank you, guys.